Calling to order the regular meeting of the Wheeling Plan Commission for Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. Please stand for the pledge. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Commissioner Blanova.
I'm here.
Commissioner Berkey.
Here.
Commissioner Sprague is here. Commissioner Yednak.
Here.
Commissioner Heiken.
Here.
Commissioner Riles.
Here.
Chairman Johnson.
Here. Ms. Nyes, any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Citizens' concerns and comments. We have no visitors tonight other than the petitioners. So, consent item, SCBA 21-15, approval of a monument ground sign for Compassionate Love Daycare at 199 First Street.
So moved.
Second.
Sprague and Blanova?
Yednak and Blanova.
Oh, Yednak and Blanova, sorry.
Commissioner Yednak.
Yes.
Commissioner Blanova.
Yes.
Commissioner Berkey.
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Heiken.
Yes.
Commissioner Riles.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson.
Yes. Items for review, docket 2021-26, minor site plan and appearance approval for the installation of 2 bulk storage tanks at Accu-Fab, 1550 Abbott Drive. Ms. Nyes?
Okay. Well, they are here today for site plan and appearance review for 2 bulk storage tanks on the northwest corner of their building, and they'll be taking out 6 parking spaces in order to put these in. There's 2 gentlemen here to talk about it, and we had 2 proposed conditions. One was that the manufacturer's specification sheets for the vaporizers associated with the liquid bulk storage tanks shall be submitted for village permit review. The vaporizers shall be no taller than 31 feet 11 inches. And number 2, construction details for the bollards and chain link fence shall be submitted for village permit review.
Thank you. Petitioners want to come on up?
We actually have the information for the vaporizers.
Okay. Just introduce yourself and your business address.
I am Eric Christensen with Chris Electric. I'll be generaling the job. Address is 32947 North Fairfield, Round Lake, Illinois.
Okay.
Daniel Keating with Walters Supply Company. I'm the vendor for these bulk tanks.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Tell us about your project.
The machines that he operates off of 2 types of compressed gas, nitrogen and oxygen. He'll be supplying the tanks. We'll be putting them in. What it does, it allows him to keep a larger storage of the said gases, so he doesn't have to continually have small bulker tanks come in.
Okay.
So,
Right now, he's working with a lot of 12 packs that are supplied by a different vendor. What they are, they're 300 cubic foot size steel cylinders, and there's 12 in a cradle. They probably weigh about 900 pounds a piece, but he's probably got about 15 or 20 of those cycling in and out every other day.
Oh, okay.
So it's time consuming, it's strenuous work, and hence the bulk tanks.
Very good. All right, we'll see if the commissioners have any questions. Commissioner Heiken, let's start down at that end.
No questions.
Commissioner Berkey.
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Yednak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of, the staff report says the northwest corner, the drawings show the northwest corner, but the project letter says northeast. Can we just assume that
It's
it's a
northwest.
typo?
Yeah.
Does that need to be corrected for the record or anything?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. And then the last thing is that I noticed that the spill pad is only on one end. Should there be around the tanks? How do you,
No, the
how do you
spill pad-
control?
The spill pad is purely for the truck. As the truck comes in to fill, it fills on the one side.
Oh,
So the spill is just when the connection's made, if something drops, It's actually not on asphalt. It's because asphalt's bituminous, it's temporary. It'll be done on concrete.
Okay, I thought it was in case there was a tank leak.
No,
Well, yeah, there's another aspect to it, yeah. So the spill pad will be in front of the oxygen tank. Oxygen is not a flammable gas, but it's an accelerant. Hence, you need the concrete instead of asphalt, so that's probably why that pad is, the spill pad is more so in front of the oxygen vessel.
But I was just wondering, how do you control the flow? Should it be more of a pad around the whole thing, or is there gonna be like concrete borders that would contain any material or anything like that?
I'm not sure.
let me look at the pad spec.
I mean, I guess this would be more for the fire department if this, is the design acceptable to the fire department?
They do literally have same tanks, but very larger, about 150 feet away at that new food place.
Okay,
So-
oh, yeah, I know that,
Rich Lou or something.
they set them up. I just didn't, I just wanted to point that out. I'm assuming you guys know what you're doing and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody
as
knows.
Marcy said, during the permitting process, we'll look at that and we'll look at the bollards as well to make sure it meets the code.
Okay, all right, then.
That's all.
These mountains are moving over there.
That's all. All right.
Voice from
All right,
above.
that was it. I just saw it was on one end, but it was more for the fill then. That's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right. Commissioner Sprague.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick question. The gates, are they going to be locked at all times?
Yes,
And then someone will be in charge of
Actually,
being
the,
able to get in and out of there? Or?
yeah, the bulk transport company will have that key. And then I'm sure Pat at Accu-Fab will have one as well, just in case there's a valve popping off or whatnot.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Commissioner Blanova.
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Riles.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick question, and forgive me if it's known, but this is just going to speed up your process. You said the tanks that are currently in there, it's swapped out every other day, more or less?
Pretty much, I think their current vendor right now is probably going there on a daily basis with 5 or 6 cradles.
And so with the transfer, how does that time frame work out now? Does that?
Well, what you talking about compared to the bulk
Yeah.
tanks? Oh, we'll probably be out there maybe once every 6 weeks to fill.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
it actually also makes it safer for the employees. So, I mean,
Yeah.
handling these big cradles, as he calls them, you have to do with a fork truck, and there is, obviously, if you got to load some of the fork truck, there's always a safety issue. So the bulk tanks also help with that.
Sure, that was my other question as far as the safety is concerned for obviously the workers and the community itself. Okay. No further questions. Thank you so much, Chairman. Thank you, guys.
Okay, my one question is, where do these vaporizers go?
I believe the vapors are on the
They're
outside.
gonna, yeah, they're gonna be on the pad itself, inside the fence area, but they're probably gonna be right behind the vessels themselves.
Okay.
Either, I'm not sure how he's gonna lead out, but
I think
it'll
they're-
either be on the side, in front, or in the back, but they'll all be in the enclosed fence there.
And what is their purpose for the non-scientific people here?
Oh, that's just it's kind of like to boost the pressure and the flow from the tank into the feed line.
Okay.
Helps
All right.
turn it from a liquid to a gaseous form.
And that can all be done when they do the permitting as far as locations of them and whatnot?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other fire department issues with this? No? All right. Any other questions from the commission? All right, then Marcy, you want to repeat those conditions and we'll get a motion.
Number 1, manufacturer specification sheets for the vaporizers associated with the liquid bulk storage tanks shall be submitted for village permit review. The vaporizers shall be no taller than 31 feet 11 inches. Number 2, construction details for the bollards and chain link fence shall be submitted for village permit review.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
That'd be Heiken and Blanova.
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken,
Yes.
Commissioner Belanova,
Yes.
Commissioner Berkey,
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes, Commissioner Yednak,
Yes.
Commissioner Riles,
Yes.
Chairman Johnson.
Yes. You're all set.
Wonderful. Do you guys want a copy of this?
Thank you, Jim.
No, so you can just move forward with permitting, and then just submit those 2 items during permitting.
Very good.
That'll just make it easier.
Okay, thank you, have a good evening.
Appreciate your time, guys.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have docket number 2022-01, amendment to special use for JV Global at 199 Shepard Avenue. Marcy, anything?
We just have 3 proposed conditions, if you want me to read them now or later.
You can wait.
Okay.
Mr. Shapiro, welcome back. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to all of you.
What have you got for us tonight?
Some time ago, we came before you and ultimately to the village board for special uses for this property, 199 Shepard. You have my narrative of a month or so ago. We want to not change anything other than the allocation of parking spots. So the number of parking spaces for trucks will remain the same, but logistics and dispatching has picked up a little bit of late. And so we just want to allocate more, I'll call those the dispatching and logistics, trucking parking spots from, I believe, 35 to 59, while balancing off the other ones, total of 84 spots.
All right. I see you had some shifting around of companies that are using
Yes.
the facility?
Yes. And all the other representations that we made before would stand true and for this one. In other words, everything is tenant-centric, so this would not be a use for outside of those tenants at the property.
All right. Anything else from your side?
No, sir.
Commissioner Riles, let's start at that end.
Okay, so you just want to flip-flop? Help me understand a little bit more.
Yeah, so there's a total of 84 truck spaces. When we first got approved, there was a limitation on the number of spaces devoted towards dispatching, as well as the square footage towards dispatching. So, and I failed to mention that just a couple of minutes ago, there are 2 things we want: to increase the space in the whole building of dispatching from 16,000 some change to 17, and to reallocate the number of trucking spaces. There was only, we were only allowed, I believe, 35, I think, Marcy?
I don't know off the top of
We were only allowed a certain number of trucking spaces for the dispatching and logistics, and the balance was going for warehousing. So we want to add more truck spaces for the dispatching and logistics and reduce the number of spaces accordingly for the warehousing. Keeping the same number of spaces, 84 in all, but just redistributing those 2 types of uses.
Right, and so in redistributing, are you widening?
Nothing will change. Nothing physical will change.
So you're not widening the space that you need, as you just demonstrated, from 16,000 and some change?
Sorry.
Yeah, so help me, yeah.
Sure, let me explain that. The property you can see is kind of like a L, sort of.
Sure.
And in the upper left part was a area dedicated for office use in logistics and dispatching. When we came 2 years ago, there was a limit on the total number of square footage that would be allowed for office and dispatching. So of this building, there was only, I believe, 16,000 square feet that was allowed for office, logistics, et cetera. So we're not going to change the building, we're not adding on, but what we would like to do is just allocate a little more room for office and logistics and take that 1,000 square feet that we would add on for logistics and reduce the balance of the building.
And
Because
incorporate it in the new
logistics seems to be-
spaces.
And what?
And incorporate it in the new spaces that you're,
Yeah, But in
Pacing.
terms of the physical attributes of the building and the physical attributes of the parking, nothing changes. We're going to add some, all interior, add some more office space and reduce the other piece of the building, other space of the other part of the building.
Okay.
So that's all that is.
Okay.
Just to kind of respond a little bit to the market of what's going on in the trucking industry.
Sure, I understand. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Blanova.
I don't think we will notice any difference, at least I will not notice.
And let me.
It's fully gated.
Thank you. And let me just add, Ashley Zinger, who you've seen here before, can't be here. She was coming in from out of town from Wisconsin, visiting family, and ran into some traffic problems. I mean, she's okay, but she wanted me to send her regrets of not being here, and I want to, it's no disrespect, she just got hung up and couldn't be here.
No problem. You done?
Yes, thank you.
Commissioner Sprague?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Good. So the difference between the logistics that you're talking about and the warehousing, is it park trailer versus one that's in and out, or what's the difference in those two aspects?
Well, logistics, if you can imagine, there's someone working more or less as a dispatcher for trucks. And then on the warehousing, it's more traditional warehousing. Argus Plastics, for example, that you're familiar, I think you're familiar with. That's more warehousing and distribution. Logistics are the trucks coming in more in and out.
More in and out?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that pretty much the way it is right now?
Logistics seems.
Because I drove through there, it's pretty crazy in there.
Is it? Okay. I haven't been through that site lately, but the logistics and the dispatching in the trucking industry seems to be quite busy.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. That's all I have.
Commissioner Yednick?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hi, Mr. Shapiro. I want to say that anything I'm asking, I really want to support them doing the business. What you explained now changes. I also went through the property twice, actually, this week. Once I went through and I was counting all the parked vehicles. Second time I counted them based on definition, I guess is what I was saying. But I need to clarify before I get into some of my findings then. So when I saw it was going from 34 to 59 trucks, you're not saying that they're going to be limiting 59 trucks on site. You're saying that you're still going to be able to park 84 trucks on site? Is that what you're saying?
A total max of 84 trucks on site.
Okay, so.
Right. There can't be more than 84 pursuant to the prior ordinance that we have.
Well, there are.
Okay. Well,
And that's what I said.
That's something we need to know.
I went through and counted, and then this was my other question that I wanted to clarify from a village standpoint is, how do we define a truck? I mean, because what I saw on site, there's cabs and tractors that were attached. There were separate cabs and trailers. Tractors is the same as cab. Cabs and trailers, there were standalone trailers and there were standalone cabs. So when I went through and counted, and then also in the truck spot, there's a whole ton of cars parked in there. And my assumption in that is that the driver will go in, park their car, pick up their truck, and they leave their car there. So in the truck parking lot, their cab and trailer combos was 27. Cab only, there were 20 in the truck lot, then there were additional 5 at the service area. Trailers only, there were 30. And then cars in the truck lots, there were 37 cars scattered throughout the truck lot. And the other thing too that I had a concern was that, Marcy, if you could bring up the site plan. So the 84 spots, if you look almost right in the middle of, there's a double line going north and south, up and down in the site plan.
Yes.
To the left of that, which would be west of the truck parking lot, those are designated as car spots. Those were all full of trucks.
Okay.
Trucks and trailers and stuff. So they are using more than the 84 spots today. And then there were also some other business vans. There was actually a pop-up trailer parked back there. There was a couple of panel vans that were for, I think, a window construction company. And what else? I was trying to think what else there was. Oh, there was a passenger bus back in there too. So I guess what I wanted to get to is whatever we define or approve or send you on to the village board to get approved, I guess I wanted to clarify that we're not setting up a situation where you're not going to be in compliance from day one, because right now you're not, I don't think you're in compliance, because there's more, well, let me see, what's it?
20, well, I counted
If I add up,
27,
it's
25, and
50,
30.
77 plus 2, there's 82. Okay, so you're under 84.
Right.
But they're not all parked in the truck lots.
Okay, and that's,
So that may be a logistics, and maybe they need to move stuff around and tell the drivers they park in these car spaces and the trucks go back where the trucks are. Now, the drivers may not like that, because I know a lot of drivers, they'll have their tools in their car or their overnight bag or whatever. They may want to park where their truck is. But anyway, or reclassify those other spaces as truck spaces, maybe.
well, if the issue, Commissioner, is that the 82 trucks that you saw, or whatever trucks, are being parked at the passenger vehicle area, and not at the truck area, I certainly will let them know.
Okay, well, but or to let them operate the way that it seems that they want to operate. What if they reclassified those passenger spaces? Now, I don't know what that's going to do for the parking allocation, because right now they're using the truck spot for
Yeah,
passenger.
that's probably, I mean, that's going to be a hassle. They're going to have to redo their site plan then. If they want to
Probably using
swap from,
Because the truck, I mean, they're probably using that spot and leaving personal car because the driver is overnight traveling somewhere, so that he's keeping
I
that car.
understand that. That's what the drivers would probably want to do. But then what I'm saying is, because of that, their trucks are spilling over into the passenger vehicle spaces.
right, if they want to change the configuration of the parking lot, they're going to have to come back with a different site plan.
So I think
But
parking the
I guess what
trucks,
I'm saying is that they're not following the site plan today.
I understand what you're
And I want to make it so that they can be in compliance, that we don't have a issue where if somebody went out, an inspector or something said, wait a minute, you're not using this lot the way it's designated. You know, the business wants to operate, we want them to operate successfully. And the way it's being used today is a lot different than what's on the drawing. So you have
I
an answer.
certainly think it's a lot easier for the trucks to go where the trucks belong and the passenger vehicles go where the passenger vehicles belong, rather than changing the site plan. So, I love you guys, but I'd rather not have to come here more often than I want to.
No, that's
So,
fine.
I will tell them that.
Then that's to them. Then I was concerned that we were way over 59 trucks, but the way you explained it, your cap is at 84.
Right.
And they're under the cap. So if we define a standalone trailer and a standalone tractor as independent vehicles, and then the combined, because I'm assuming they would be defined as independent vehicles, because probably the tractor may belong to one company and the trailer belongs to another company. There were they doubled up trailers in a lot of the spots, and there was all kinds of stuff. But they're still under the 84. I was thinking they were going over the 59 today. So you clarified that. That was not clear when I read it initially. But I want to make sure that they know that, just so they don't have a compliance issue.
Understood, thank you.
So you can clear that up. The other observation, then I was curious, one of your things said that vehicles would not be parked for longer than 48 hours, but there were a lot of snowed-in tractors and trailers and stuff, so that,
I believe
at
there
least
are
one of the
certain-
companies, I think, said 48 hours, and I was wondering,
Right.
does that apply to all the companies?
No.
Okay.
So I believe in the letter that you're looking at, I believe that pertained to the Argus vehicles.
Okay.
48 hours or less. And then the other vehicles, we tried to make it known it would be 5 days or less.
Okay. I could not tell which vehicle belonged to which, because there weren't markings on all of them. And then the lot security, it sounds like Commissioner Sprague and myself, I was able to drive in there real easily. There was no locked gate. I didn't notice. I read the documents later, and in my recollection, I didn't see any no trespassing signs. Is that only after hours, or is that 24/7, that it should be a gate pass and locked up? And that's not, I don't think the village really cares about security, but I'm sure the business does.
Sure. What time of day was it?
I went in around 11 o'clock on Monday, and then after I just counted total vehicles, I went back and I thought, well, I really need to count them separately, so I went back like 11:30 on Tuesday afternoon.
Okay.
Before I took my dog to the dog park. So, yeah, I didn't notice any no trespassing, and I actually expected, a couple of the truck drivers watched me driving around. I expected a cop to come up at any point in time, but nobody reported me.
Sometimes you get those evil looks, that could be just as good security as anything else. But I will mention that.
I just wanted to go in and count, but yeah, but I was just wondering, that was more something you can pass along to your client, not necessarily,
Yes.
you know, because I don't
Yes.
think the
And I
village.
wish Ashley were here, she could answer that, but I can't, and I will pass it
No,
on.
that's fine. And then the personal, this is one for staff, I guess, that the personal auto spaces, based on the count, is that sufficient for you? Because I don't remember seeing that they're in compliance for that. Or do we have that the
I
last,
believe so.
when we did the review on the site plan last time?
Yeah, I mean, if it met it last time.
Yeah, I think that was vetted last time, when we
Okay.
came here in 2019.
Okay,
Right.
and then the last one, just another observation, I don't know if this is, there was a shipping container in the northeast corner of the lot that had stairs, and I'm assuming it might be used as like a temporary warehouse or storage or a warm-up shelter for the truckers, I don't know, but I don't know if that's something that is in compliance or if, you know, if they're expanding their square footage just by putting.
A shipping container with stairs?
Yeah, it was way in the northeast corner, like if you're looking all the way to the very right top corner of the parking lot there, it was back there and there was some stairs going in and a door on the shipping container, and it looked like, you know, they might be using it for storage or something. I don't know if that's within village code. That's not under our review, but just something I noticed that you may want to, but you cleared up, you threw away all my notes because you clarified everything where you're saying, I thought we were limiting to 59, so once you explained it, I understood the differentiation, and that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Berkey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No questions.
Commissioner Heiken.
Thank you, no questions.
Mr. Shapiro, in the project letter, under security and restrictions, the way it's written, the operational limitations noted below can be among those incorporated into lease agreements. Are they? Because it just says they can be, but it doesn't say this is what we're going to stick to.
I don't know. I haven't done those leases. I haven't been asked to do those leases, and I don't know.
Because that's where it talks about security system and locked gates and, you know, all that stuff that was brought up. So they need to look at that.
Okay.
Any other questions from the commission?
Thank you for your patience.
All right, then, Marcy, you want to read those
Sure.
conditions now?
So number one, all freight handling operations shall occur in the building or at the loading docks and not within the outdoor surface parking lots. Number two, the freight terminal special use shall be limited to a gross floor area of 17,000 square feet and not more than 59 truck parking spaces. Number three, the hours of operation shall be limited to the schedules identified in the project description letter dated November 17th, 2021.
Is there anything we want to add? Nope. Okay, then I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Berkey, Commissioner Blanova?
Yep.
Commissioner Berkey?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanova?
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Yednak?
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken?
Yes.
Commissioner Riles?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes,
Thank you.
very good, sir.
Okey dokey. I will be in touch when.
Okay,
Because this will have to go to the village board.
great. Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Shapiro.
Have a good evening.
All right, next up, we have approval of minutes of the regular meeting of December 15th, 2021, including the findings of fact for docket number 2021-23A, 23B, and 2021-48. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
That would be
We have a
Sprague
tie.
and Blanova.
Okay. Sprague and Blanova works.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Blanova?
Yes.
Commissioner Berkey?
Yes.
Commissioner Yednak?
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken?
Yes.
Commissioner Riles?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. Other business. Ms. Nyes, anything?
I do not have anything.
No updates, no project updates? I see the District 21 building is
Yep, moving along.
going vertical.
Yep.
Nothing else happening at this point?
No, nothing else.
All right.
Can't think of anything. Can you think of anything? What's big going on? Can't think of.
They have the strip mall up by the hotel going up.
Yeah.
That's going up. There are a couple vacant properties that hopefully we'll get some over on Hints and Glen, some properties that'll hopefully get some new tenants in the near future here and stuff, so.
All right, thanks. Commissioner Heiken, any other business?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Commissioner Berkey?
Nothing from me, thank you.
Commissioner Yednick?
Nothing, thank you.
Commissioner Sprague?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have nothing.
Commissioner Blanova?
No surprises here, nothing from me.
And Commissioner Riles?
Nothing, thank you.
All right. Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
That was a tie.
That was a tie. Oh, let's give it to Berkey.
Okay.
Sprague and Berkey?
Yes.
Thank you.
All
Voice
in
vote?
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourned.